How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to be a follow-up to another video of mine that was focused on gold making farms that just got better. The reason that all of these gold farms are more profitable now are because of the relics of the past. If you aren't familiar with the relics of the past, then you have missed quite a few of my other videos, and I would suggest go back and watch some of those to fully understand what I'm about to go over. I will link some of those here now so you guys can get caught up. I am going to cover a few more farms that have increased in value since the announcement of the relics, but I'm also going to cover some of the best items to craft for the relics and the materials needed to craft them since they have also gone up in value. We did some theory crafting on our last video and found out what the best cloth items were to craft in terms of profitability, and we will be referencing that as we are choosing the farms to do. That Google Sheet is available on my Discord server for those interested and is linked in the description below. Now, there has still been no change to the vendor prices for the shuffles, and there was just an update on the PTR yesterday. Blizzard also hinted at a possible release date for the pre-patch as well, but didn't give an actual date. They left it very vague and hit us with it will be soon. This could mean almost anything. Could we see the pre-patch next week? It is quite possible, but what is more likely is it's going to release on the 6th of October, and this was going to be our 2-week warning that they usually give us. That is just my guess, but if it does release the 29th, I'll be pretty surprised. With all of that said, the relics of the past materials and items that you can craft are equally as important as the relics themselves, because if you're going to be doing the vendor shuffle, then you will need the materials to craft the item. That means there's a whole other market for players to tap into because you don't actually have to do the vendor shuffle then. You can make the gold off of other players that are buying the materials to do the shuffle themselves. These materials have gone up in value and continue to go up every day as we get closer to the pre-patch. For instance, linen cloth has gone from 16 silver to almost 3 gold per cloth in the last month, and it even spiked over 5 gold for a few days there. That is because the most profitable item to make with the relic of the past vendor shuffle were the brown linen pants for tailoring. Obviously that might change now because everyone is seeing how much gold they can make off of something as easy as linen cloth. Now, I believe if the relics hit live servers in this current condition, this is only going to make the gold farms more profitable. Right now at around 3 gold per linen cloth, you aren't going to be making that much gold in terms of per hour results. Let's say that price doubles when pre-patch does hit and you're making closer to 6 gold per linen cloth, which on some servers is already the case. That is going to make some old farms pretty profitable now, and they are so easy to do since linen is the lowest level of cloth, meaning it's in usually lower level zones. For these purposes, I would start stockpiling some of it or buying it off the auction house and flipping the materials if you don't want to spend the time doing the vendor shuffles. Even if you're doing the vendor shuffles, you don't need that much linen cloth since you only need 2 linen per 5 to 7 of the other materials for the relic. If you wanted to farm linen cloth yourself, then the best place to farm linen cloth is killing riverpaw gnolls near Centennial Hill in Westfall. They respawn very fast and you will almost never run out of things to kill. This is going to be in Alliance territory, so if you are a Horde, just keep that in mind. Also, if you are Alliance and completed the quest line at Centennial Hills, then you probably won't be able to do this farm. Don't worry, I have a few other spots to go over. Now, there's going to be 2 ways to do this. You can either do this farm solo or in a group of 5. Obviously, the group of 5 is going to be the most cloth per hour because you will be able to kill more spawn points of the mobs faster. With that said, you can still do it solo if you don't have a group and still get a good amount of linen cloth. If you're going to do it solo, I would recommend getting to one of the entrances where the river paws are spawning to run into the town. I found this to be the fastest spawn point and thus the most linen cloth per hour. You can also go into the town and kill all the river paws in there as well, but they are a little more spread out and it may take you more time to do this. That is where the group comes in, and you can still do something similar to the Runecloth farm we already discussed a few videos ago. Make a couple of designated kill locations and every 2 minutes go and loot the corpses. My results for doing this method solo were around 2,000 linen cloth per hour. My results for doing this in a 5-man group were closer to 4,000 linen cloth per hour. Some players even ended up getting a little more and some players ended up getting a little less, so we're going to average that to around 4,000 linen cloth. Now again, that isn't a great gold per hour at the 2 to 3 gold per mark, but I mean it's linen cloth and that makes it pretty amazing. If you compare that to a month ago where you were only making 16 silver per cloth, then I would say this gold farm has greatly increased and it is very, very easy to do. If you're going to take the time to do this farm, then I suggest you hold on to the Runecloth for a few days or even up to the pre-patch to see what the prices are going to do. If you are just looking to make some quick gold, then obviously just post it, but I think it could be even better if you be patient with it. Another item that players are going to want to craft uses wool cloth. That is our second most profitable item on our theory crafting list, so let's just take a look at the farm behind that. Now someone else must have said something about the wool farm because I couldn't even get good footage of doing this farm, let alone doing it in peace. The area at any time of day for the last couple of days has been crawling with other players. The area I'm referring to is on the road east of Greenwarden's Grove in wetlands. There is a fight going on between the Dragon Maw Whelp Stealers and the Ebon Slave Hunters. Both of these mobs are hostile and drop wool cloth, and their spawn rate is extremely quick. That area has probably the best wool cloth per hour, so if it's not as crowded on your server, I would definitely go there, but it just wasn't worth the time for me because so many other players were doing it there, so I found almost an equally as good farm spot for wool. Instead of killing those mobs, you will be focusing on killing the Stormpike Engineers on Gavin's Naze and Hillsbrad Foothills. This is another great place to farm wool cloth. They respawn almost instantly, so you'll never run out. I only did this as a solo and my results varied a little bit each time I did the farm. The reason behind that is because they actually drop a good amount of linen and even some silk cloth as well. We can definitely use those materials for other crafting items, so it wasn't a bad thing at all. I actually ended up getting on average with around 1500 linen cloth, 1000 to 1500 wool cloth, and around 300 silk for the hours worth of my time farming here. Wool cloth started around 20 silver a month ago and has creeped up to 1.5 gold per here recently. At the current market value, that would be just a little over 8,000 gold an hour. But like I said, these prices are going to continue to go up and these farms are way better than they used to be a month ago. The last farm I wanted to cover was the third most profitable item on our theory crafting relics list, and that was Mageweave. Just like the two before, Mageweave has seen a huge spike in overall sales and gold per cloth. A month ago you could buy Mageweave for around 58 silver and now it is almost 3 gold per cloth. That is a huge increase and has made a farm we talked about in the past even better now. If you haven't already guessed, then that farm is ZF or Zul'Farrak. A little tip to running this place is to make sure before every run you go fly over the entrance and go to the back temple where the large staircase is and kill all those mobs there. They drop a lot of Mageweave cloth and they will reset every 4 to 5 minutes, so pretty much just in time for when you finish a run inside. Now this is a dungeon run and you can only do 10 instances per hour, but you're going to be getting a good amount of Mageweave cloth from it anyway. A lot of gold farmers ran ZF before because it has some high selling transmog items in here. Not only can you still farm for those items, but you can now finally have a purpose for all that Mageweave cloth you were getting. On average, I was getting a little under 300 Mageweave cloth per run. Do that 10 times over and that means you'll have around 3,000 Mageweave or more after you're done. At the almost 3 gold per cloth, that is going to be around 9,000 gold per hour right now, and again, it's only going to get even better over the next few weeks. All of these farms I just talked about may have a time window on them depending on how the relics of the past hit live servers. I suggest you invest some time into getting some of these stockpiled in preparation for the price to go up. In terms of gold per hour, none of these blow you out of the water right now, but they are so much better than they were a few weeks ago and have actually become relevant in the game again. If players are going to be doing the vendor shuffle, then these could turn into some viable gold making farms once again. Either way, if you choose to stockpile for your own vendor shuffles or sell these on the auction house, you really can't pick a wrong way. Remember, there is also an opportunity just to buy low and sell high as well on these. I know a lot of gold makers just bought out the auction house of everything less than a gold or around a gold and then sold it for 2 to 3 times of what they paid for it and made some really quick gold because these items are selling extremely fast right now with everyone catching on to the relics of the past. Well, there you have it guys, a few more items that have seen significant increases to their costs in the last few weeks and where to farm them if you choose. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.